What is going on, guys? Big Red or Robbie here. Hope you guys are doing well. This is live stream number 2 for the day. And really, I'm just trying to work out some technical difficulties and I don't know if these are test broadcasts, but we're going to be just talking about kind of whatever I want to talk about at the moment and just kind of go from there. If you have any things you want to talk about, if you have any comments on kind of the state of the sports world right now and when you think things are going to get back to normal, let me know down in the comments or right over there, wherever the live chat is. I want to know your opinions because I think it's a big issue right now and we're not really sure what's going to happen. We're not really sure how things are going to, kind of come together in the next couple of months. And there's so much unsure aspects of things when it comes to sports, professional sports. What's going to happen in the future? What is going to happen in the broad scheme of things? And that's the thing that kind of worries me a lot. It worries me a lot about, you know, what does this mean for the future of athletics and for the future of things? And I know that the MLB dropped something a couple days ago talking about, and it was a report by Jeff Passan talking about the future of what this could mean and what's going to happen to Major League Baseball in terms of trying to, get them together for 4.5 months in Arizona and play. And I know there's been a lot of, talk and speculation about what is going to happen with everything. Just again, in the sports world, what's going to happen? And right now it's so unsure. And I don't even know how to put it out there because it's so, I'm going to do my best to explain kind of my point of view and kind of my thoughts on the whole thing because I'm a big sports fan. I love the sports world. I love everything that has to do with sports. And one of the biggest things that I just want to see it back. I don't care in any capacity. I just want to see sports back on a national stage. And it doesn't even matter what kind of sports. I mean, the other day they were playing ESPN The Ocho. I think it was like the first or second weekend after all this started. And just to sit back and watch ESPN The Ocho, it was something simple. It was kind of stupid at times. And even if that all the time, I would be okay with it because it gives me something to watch. It gives me something I've never seen before. And I think just the big part is moving forward and what happens when all this stuff kind of, you know, I don't want to say breaks down because I think we have a long way to go before things get back to normal. I really, really believe that there's no possible way. And I'm going to say this with extreme caution because I don't want people to freak out. I don't want, people to think that I know something that everybody else does know because I don't. I don't know hardly anything. But as of right this second, I just don't see sports returning to what it has been anytime soon. And it's hard for me to say that because it's such a big thing in sports right now that I think we need sports more than ever. I'm a big wrestling fan, and this past weekend they had WrestleMania, and they actually did that live. They did that. I mean, I know they taped some of the things before, but they actually had a broadcast. And whether it was the right decision or not, it was a decision that I think was a smart one just because of the climate. And I think people are so hungry for sports. People are so hungry for, content that they're going to watch anything. I know the NBA is talking about doing a horse tournament or whatever, kind of broadcasting from players' homes. And they could do a horse kind of thing that way. And that would be fun to see. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to, try to, put lipstick on a pig, but it's not going to be what it would be if it's a live sporting event in person with everything going on. But at the end of the day, it's live sports. It's going to be something that's going to be content. And I know right now they're kind of doing everything that they can to work and to make it so the fans have something to do during this time. And because I know for a lot of us, so we are going crazy. It is very difficult right now for us in general to, to stay busy. I mean, I don't know about you, but it's been hard for me to kind of realize what's going on with all this. And obviously I know there's a big, big problem in the world right now. And hopefully talking about whatever's going on is as much as it can provide a distraction to everyone out there. But the topic of this live stream is, what is the current what's the word? What's the current state of professional sports? And that's just an unsurety. I know that a lot of people out there, including the president, have said, we're going to be back playing by August and there's going to be fans in the stadiums. And you know what? I political views aside, I don't want this to become a political rant, but I don't think that's even possible. I don't even know how you can say that this is actually going to happen down the road. It's not. I don't believe that, and maybe he's just trying to be optimistic and whatever the case is, but there is no possible way that sports is going to be played in front of fans come August. I just don't think it's possible. I think the football season is going to start next year and we're not going to have fans in the stadiums. It may start, it may be fine, but I don't think, and I think for the foreseeable future, until we have this under control, until the curve is flattened outrageously, I don't think sports in front of fans is going to happen anytime soon. And I know a lot of things going on right now. It's a little bit easier, I think, for baseball because they haven't even started their season yet. It's a little bit harder. And I mean, I guess I wouldn't say easier because they do have a whole year. They got to, try to fit in at some point throughout this entire process. But at the end of the day, what's going to happen is, what happens with the NBA playoffs? So what happens with the NHL playoffs? The NFL season, it's at an advantage right now because nothing's happened. Nothing is going on. Nothing is, working, to their disadvantage. They're still going to have the draft in a few weeks. They're still going to have things going on. You're still going to be talking about it. And that'll be a big distraction moving forward after the NFL draft. It'll give content to a lot of sportscasters. I know today with Tom Brady being on the Howard Stern show, and I talked about that earlier, you can go check that out on my YouTube page. But with a lot of this going on, we don't know. We are so unsure, and there's the future is very uncertain for sports. Is any sports going to be played in 2020 any longer? I don't know. I don't have those answers. I hope so. But I think you're constantly singers try to do things that are very unique. And whether it be the 2K tournament coming up or, happening on ESPN, whether it's the iRacing series, which is kind of interesting to watch because you got to think all these professional drivers and stuff like that have rigs set up in their homes and all of that jazz. And I think that's one of the coolest things with that is, people can still be in their own homes, be around what they got going on. And that's what's going to happen. And that's what they're going to do. And I think at the end of the day, we look back and we say, hey, what's going to happen with sports moving forward? What is going to happen with things, just in the future? And I don't know if we know. I don't know if it's just kind of okay, we'll just wait and see. Wait to see what crazy thing happens. And you got to think, who does this benefit the most? And I don't think it benefits the fans because obviously there's nothing live to watch on the air. I understand, they want to keep everybody safe, but it sucks. Like it does suck to not have live sports right now. And, if you are a sports fan, let me know down in the comments below. Let me know, where you're from, what you're, craving, what you want to see, what kind of, wild ideas that you would love to see these professional organizations, come up with, whether it be a horse, whether it be a home run derby, whether it be, just sequestering athletes for months and getting the season done. And do I think that's possible? No, unfortunately, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't see it being possible to, bring sports together and bring teams together for 4.5 months to sequester them, kind of quarantine themselves in one spot for a prolonged period of time, try to knock out as many games as possible, as many things as possible, and get it done. I don't think that's possible. I don't think it's realistic. And I know that whole report that Major League Baseball was kind of possibly going to do that in Arizona. First off, it's freaking hot as crap in Arizona. I think I read somewhere where it gets, to 110 to 115, degrees in the middle of the day in Arizona. And you're thinking about people having to play outside, double headers sometimes, and things of that nature. And I don't know if it's realistic. I don't know if it's possible. I don't think it's possible. And then, of course, you got all these athletes that wouldn't be able to be around their families for 4.5 months. You got athletes like Mike Trout and Garrett Cole who are expecting kids in the next few months. And that's something that you can't tell them, hey, you can't bring your families. You got to be away from them for 4 months when you've got players, some of the best players in the league. I mean, think about this. Think about them sequestering athletes for 4.5 months. And this is just in baseball. Think of them sequestering athletes for 4.5 months in baseball and going forward and saying, okay, well, this is what's going to happen. We're going to put you in a hotel. We're going to have every hotel. There's no one in hotels, obviously, right now. We're going to sequester everybody in a hotel for 4.5 months. You got to be away from your family, your loved ones, whatever. You can't see them for 4.5 months because we got to get the season going. But you have baseball players that have kids on the way. And one of those players is the best player in baseball, Mike Trout. So think about this whole process going down and Mike Trout being like, no, guys, I'm all right. No big deal. You have the best player in baseball not playing in the baseball season, which is something you do not want. And I think, moving forward and everything that, going on, you're going to see that more and more. And I think Tom Brady said it this morning on the Howard Stern show is you're going to get more and more creative with how you can get things done. I know the president wants to get things done. The economy, I'm sure, is going to flourish if professional sports get brought back. Professional sports is good for the economy. I don't care who you are. Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. It brings in a lot of revenue for the cities, for the states, for the country as a whole. And, it would get people's excitement up. And I think that's something that we need right now more than anything is we need a way to kind of escape and get a distraction from this coronavirus. It's a very serious thing, and I'm not trying to take anything away from it. And I'm not just saying, distract yourself because it's not a serious thing and you don't want to take it serious. You should be taking this seriously. If you're not taking this seriously, then you're part of the problem. And I think, down the road, we're going to, realize that, okay, well, this is a serious thing, and how can we make this happen so sports can happen? I think the closest thing right now, the closest thing that we have to professional sports down the road and any time in the future, getting back things going on with golf. And, yes, there are so many things that go along with golf and everything that you have to realize with golf. But, at the end of the day, golf is the one sport. Golf is the number one sport where you can limit people and how close they are to each other. You can say, okay, hey, don't, you can have the caddies, you can have the players, you can have cameramen following them around. You got officials that you got to, have officials on call if you need a question, technology is crazy and you can make it happen. You can have one official following every single group. That would be okay. But I think, at the end of the day, golf is the closest thing that you can have to, because think about it. Golf is, you don't get much more social. There are golf courses in the country that are still open. I played golf yesterday. And I think at the end of the day, you go through and you ask yourself, okay, well, how serious is this? Because it's a big serious thing. And I went to a golf tournament, the Northern Trust Open, first leg of the playoffs last August. And it was incredible the amount of people it takes to put on a golf tournament. But I think if you take away the spectators, you take away the vendors, you take away all that stuff, you don't have all those people running around trying to make sure that, things are in place. I think a lot of those people, were in place to make sure that the fans had an enjoyable experience and all that stuff. You don't need the volunteers that much. You can just have two guys. You literally don't need that many people when it comes to volunteers. You have guys start on different holes. If you need to, you space them out. They space them out anyway. And you just kind of go throughout and you play a golf tournament. I'm excited to see the golf tournaments that they're going to have in the future and how they're going to work it. I'm it was just announced the other day that Augusta, the Masters was going to be played in November. Never happened before. It's crazy that it's Masters week this week and there's no Masters being played. How weird is that? And I'm going to talk about that more a little bit later on this week and maybe even next week about how weird it is this weekend. It's Easter weekend. There's no Masters being played. It's always played on the second weekend of April. And this year, It's not happening. And it's very, very strange as a golf fan, as a fan of sports and live professional sports. And I don't even care if you're not a golf fan. If there's one moment in the last year that has gotten you so pumped up, the entire sports world was around and they know where they were at when Tiger Woods won the green jacket last year. One of the greatest moments in sports, one of the greatest moments I remember watching. I was down in Florida. I wasn't able to watch it on the TV, but I was able to watch the broadcast from my phone. And let me tell you guys, it was unbelievable. I can't stress it enough. I can't tell you how awesome it was to watch that moment. I remember exactly where I was, exactly what I was doing when I found out he won. And when I was watching it, it was unreal. But I progress. And I'm excited, though, to see how golf does it. I'm excited to see the Ryder Cup and how they turn that out, because that's a very fan-friendly atmosphere. It's a very fan-centric atmosphere. And, fans are just as much a part of the Ryder Cup as the actual players themselves. And that's going to be very interesting to see how they work that out moving forward and things of that nature. So, guys, I'm going to sign off right now. Hopefully the sound came up and we had some technical difficulties moving forward, but I'm going to keep trying to do these as much as possible and see if I can get some traction. Don't forget, you can guys go check out our episodes of Sunday Smack Talk, my talk on Tom Brady and Howard Stern these past couple of weeks. The last couple of days, I'm going to be trying to load up more content as I can. It's kind of hard not to go stir crazy in your apartment, in your condo, in your house, wherever you're at. But hopefully I can be a little bit of a distraction and talk some sports. If you have any ideas of what you want me to talk about in the future for future episodes, let me know down below in the comments. I want to talk about whatever you guys want to hear, because I want the viewers and the listeners to really drive the conversation and not, I'm on the radio, but I'm not on sports talk radio that often, except for, every once in a while when I'll pop on the weekends. But since that can't happen, Sunday Smack Talk is still going to happen right here on our channel every single weekend with Brian Benish and Alex Brooks. You guys can hear them and myself as we're going to be just, trying to alleviate a little bit of a distraction toward everything going on. And do that, guys, so much. And I hope you guys don't forget to subscribe. I think it's down right here. Click out the latest videos to the side of me, and we'll talk to you next time, guys. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll talk to you later.